Hey, so welcome everybody to the RJ Speaks channel. If you are new here, this is your time to subscribe and be a part of this family. And if you are old, please share this link to as many people as possible. But today I would be talking about why I chose Youngstown State University, which is YSC, over Florida State University. Let me issue a disclaimer. I'm not against Florida State University. I love this school. Actually, that was like my dream school. I'm having to take the study abroad journey. But then there was something important I had to consider, and that influenced my decision to have chosen Youngstown State University over Florida State University. Florida State University still has a good place in my heart, but yes, diving straight into today's topic, why I chose Youngstown State University. So, mind you, this video might only apply to people that might not have so strong financial background or for people who might not, let me just say in a loose term, people who might not be able to cough maybe 15,000 on the spot, dollars USD, or 10,000 USD on the spot. Then this video, you might want to consider this video before making the decision. So in the case where you have multiple school offers with funding, of course, with Florida State University, there was funding, but the funding would have required that I took care of my accommodation. And of course, you all know, okay, maybe you might not know, but the cost of living in Ohio is way cheaper than the cost of living in Florida. So, in as much as I was passionate about being in Florida State University for my financial math and master's program, based on some advice I received, which I'm definitely going to share with you, that if you're starting life, you want to start somewhere that is that suits your goal, that's peaceful, that's safe. I'm not saying that be comfortable in what you find yourself, but this will go a long way. You might not see the wisdom behind what I'm saying now, but you are definitely going to thank me many years to come. So my decision of not going to Florida State University and moving to Youngstown State University gave me these benefits. One of the benefits was the luxury of time, right? If I was probably in Florida State University, my mind would have been preoccupied by how to fend for my rent. Definitely, since I did not know like a personal family person in Florida State University, how I'm going to fend for myself, how I'm going to buy certain things, I'm going to pay my rent and all other bills. It might have probably disturbed my soundness when it comes to studying and focusing on my career. And mind you, at Youngstown State University, the rent was as cheap as, back then, as cheap as 300 USD a month. Come to think of it. And it was like a two-bedroom, yeah, that I had to share with my roommate. Shout out to her. Yes, and back then, and I think the fees that had to be paid also was, so this is something to consider. The fees that was due every semester could actually be paid with a stipend that is given. They have a good, relatively good amount of stipend that comes in monthly, and you can definitely be on a payment plan, pay them in bits. Maybe you pay 500 every month till you clear it off, and that's also enough to buy some few groceries. Maybe might not be the stipend might not be enough to build a house back home or in Africa or get some designer hairs. So you should be comfortable with wearing a natural hair or wearing simple hairstyles. I remember during my time in Youngstown State University, I was almost always in hairstyles like this, and my roommates could almost be so fed up with me that, hey, can't you change your hairstyle and all that is, in the joke of it or in the fun of it. Yeah, that was how simple life was in Youngstown State University. And most importantly, there was a great Ghanaian community also, especially with church. Maybe another time I'm going to talk about my ministerial involvement back in Ohio. But yes, that helped me. I also had enough time. I think since I had the peace of mind, I was able to pass two actual exams within the space of 6 months. And I believe it's all as a result of the decision I make to have chosen that school, giving me a good and a sound mind to even participate or be active and involved in church work, as long as also being okay. So just a little tip. I'm a member of the Honor Society from Ohio, definitely, which is the Phi Kappa Phi. Okay, so who qualifies for Phi Kappa Phi? It's normally, I think, the 7.5 top high graduate students or undergrads in every school for which the society is recognized. So this is just to tell you that, oh, academically I was also doing well. I think I had a GPA of 4.0 for majority of my semesters, yes, and was also volunteering with SG, Student Government Association, and all others. But this was all possible because I chose Youngstown State University. I'm not saying that make your decisions based on ministerial stuff or academic stuff, right? But it gave me the opportunity to do other things. There's some schools that you move to or cities that you move to, your whole life becomes the course you're studying. Like you have no time for any other thing. You have no time to volunteer. Even as a student, I was volunteering to help with different and diverse actuarial organizations and what have you. So in choosing, and most importantly, lest I forget, most importantly, when it comes to like the finances, imagine studying and having like a debt of 15,000. I mean, once you started working and all that, you might be able to psychologically embrace that thought. But as a student, I think it will do a lot on you. You might be tempted to do many other things that might sway off your career. There's some people who are also great with sailing through challenges, but I want to make it very clear to you and help you make the right decision. If you happen to have many offers, I want you to choose rightly. If I should move to this school, would I be able to become what I want to become? Because in as much as I was not taking a purely actuarial program in YSU, I knew where I wanted to be and I decided to take my actuarial exams actively amidst the whole school exams and school quizzes happening. The city you're choosing, is that suitable for you? Is that somewhere you like to live, maybe long term? Because definitely sometimes your full time work might move you from one city to another. But is that somewhere or is that a place where you think you might have the peace of mind to operate in the way God wants you or to become all that you can become? I believe maybe if I went to a different city that did not have a great Christian community for me to give back to them, maybe what I have, I might not have been, I might not have experienced the spiritual growth I might have done in Ohio. So, in as much as you are making that decision, you have many reasons. Oh, I want a top school, which is good. I love it. I mean, if I should get admitted to Harvard gracefully, I'm gonna take it, right? But like, I want you to take all these into consideration. Don't just go in for any course. I know some people said, I think there was a time I was telling a friend that I think I applying to, was it music and dance in Harvard? And I think I was in the process. No, no, no. Did you have to ignore something like that? Like you're talking about Harvard, but wait, is it aligning with what you want to do? So don't just choose any program. If you know you want to be in something like actuarial science, I mean, you don't necessarily have to take a master's in actuarial science, right? But I think the advantages of taking a master's in actuarial science, it does more good to you. You get to understand the industry much better than someone relatively who did not take a master's in actuarial science. That is not to say someone did not take a master's in actuarial science. It might their disadvantage. No, they could equally also learn whatever is being learned in those actual accredited schools. So it's still up to you. I want you to have a clear vision in mind, like ahead of you. Is this a place I can afford? And that's the main point this video is stressing on, the cost of living. Is it a place I can afford? If you can afford, go for it. But if you cannot afford it at the moment and you want a more peaceful place, and I can recommend stuff like, not stuff, sorry, schools like Youngstown State University. I can recommend schools like Bowling Green. I can recommend schools like Kent State University. You know, I can recommend schools like Akron University. I can recommend schools like Northern Arizona. You know, there are many other ones with a good cost of living that gives you a peace of mind to focus on other things. You might underestimate the kind of peace of mind you have when you are financially stable. And I think that is something that we really stress on. It's better to start without debt than to start with debt, you know. So if you're looking out, I mean, if you have other questions on what influenced my decision, I'll be waiting for you right here in the comment section. Don't forget to hit the subscription button. Then again, it's your girl, RG. See you on our next video. Bye.